Hi everybody, this is Liz with 143 Handmade, and today we're here to do a Mass Make Monday. Thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for notifications so that way you will be told when I put out my random videos. I do put out videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I also put out random flip throughs as I get product available. But this is the mass make that we're going to do today. Just a very, very simple fold of a book page that gives you a lot of options within the journal. This is a journal that I'm in the middle of, and this is an example of one of those pages, how it fits in the book. And as you can see, you could tuck all kinds of things in there. This particular one was made out of scrapbook paper. You can totally do that. You can make these out of any paper that you would put in your junk journal. So I have pages, let's see, this one is out of, you might hear my daughter's Yorkie in the background. But this page is out of a gardening how-to book. And so it's going to make a smaller one, which would be great as, in a smaller journal, such as this. That would fit nicely in here. But you can make these out of as big or as small a paper as you want. So, so we fold this up like this, and I like to line the centers up, but then also look for a word of text to make sure that it is, the page is laying well. And I like to keep the pocket on the outside of the page, as opposed to folding it in like so. You totally can. I just think that by folding it out like this, it just doesn't get as bunchy here. Everything lies better, I think. So, and you can make these out of the full pages, like I just did with this one, as well as just the single sheets like this. So, and as you can see, those came out of the same hymnal, but because this one I was able to salvage as the full page, it creates a much larger pocket. But the weight of this paper is really nice. It's still in really good condition, even though it is a vintage book. I highly recommend that if you're using a dictionary page, well, really any page that has text on it, if you're going to try and sell it or gift it, that you be very aware of the words on the page. Or at least know the person if you're gifting it, if you know the person well enough, then obviously the words, you can come up with some pretty offensive things depending on what kind of friend you have, right? So everybody has those inside jokes that if other people hear, it just sounds wrong, right? Out of context. It's perfectly innocent amongst the friends. So, and as you can see, it adds a nice detail by rounding the corners. You don't have to do that. You can totally rip these down, or you don't even have to fold them in half. You can fold them, asymmetrically, where it's not the same on each side. So that way, like if it's not going to span the whole journal. You have this bigger journal here. And you want the one to come all the way out, then what you would do is, this is how I would fold it to get it to where there's the one page that comes all the way out, and then the other one would be shorter. This is how I would lay it out. And then that way it will fill, this one, it will fit in there better. So, but yeah, be sure to check out my Etsy shop if you want to see what journals I have for sale at the moment. When you're using a book page that opens like this, that's very, very creased like this one is, you want to make sure that you put the crease, to have it lay the way that mine do. You want to have it where it mountains up like that, and then fold it pretty carefully, right along there. And then when it folds back, it will stretch a little weird. And then you just push it on down and it works just fine. It works great. So, I've got just a couple more to work through real quick. And then I will decorate one. But usually when I do these, I do them kind of in batches, and I'll sit and I'll fold a bunch while, like, say I'm watching TV or something. And then I will go back and I will decorate them based on the journal I actually put them in, as opposed to pre-decoration. But we will go ahead and decorate one real quick. And I would be careful using the thinner pages like this one is. I will go ahead and use these in certain situations, but you just, you need to be really aware of the use of it, how you're going to put it in. And if you're looking for something, that's going to last a minute, you don't want to put something that soft in, or that weak. So, as you can see here, I just put this little pre-stamp. These are bits from another Mass Make Monday. I just put a little strip there to kind of, fool the eye about the upside down text. You can put a much larger one if you want to just cover up all of that. On this side, I used paper flower. Let's go ahead and do that again. And I'm going to leave the corners just flat on this one. Let's see, I think I'm just going to take a piece of this that stretches all the way across. And just run it the whole width. That way it just completely covers up all of that. I'm going to trim this. Get my stringies under control. And trim this side just ever so slightly, so that way it won't bunch up at the fold. Nope, I'm just going to have to cut it, unfortunately. So there we go. And like that. And like for right here, you might be able to get away with a glue stick. Fabrifix is my go-to. I really like how efficient it is. It dries very quickly. It dries clear. You can rub it off if you get it in the wrong spot. And I'm all the time getting glue where glue should not be, so there we go. It is a little stinky though, so be aware of that with the Fabrifix. If you're sensitive to the glue smells, I do not recommend that at all. So, and let's see, we want to maybe put a couple of flowers on the side. And then maybe a word. This little word right here just peeking out over the top. Or do we want to just put another piece of trim? I like the paper flowers. Okay, here's another little tip. I like to keep a hold of the covers of these type of catalogs, because they're really super thick and they're quite waxed or laminated or whatever, something that keeps the surface very, very shiny for quite some time. And so they work really, really well for inking on, and it keeps your desk a little cleaner. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this flower up, and I'm going to go ahead and do dual color inking, where I just ink with the one color in a couple of spots, and then I go ahead and grab the other, and we ink up the rest. And it kind of blends the colors too, because I didn't clean my brush or anything in between. I know I cross-contaminate my colors all the time. For purists out there, it would, they would not be able to work like I do. That's okay. We can't all work the same way, right? So, there we go. If you were hearing that thud, that was one of my cats jumping somewhere. That's my daughter's dog. I've got a quite busy household tonight. Let's see, let's get some ink on this bliss. There we go. so it's not quite so bright white. Not that that's bad, I just, you know, I had it in my hand. I can tend to go a little crazy with the ink once I get started. So, there we go. Here we go. I'm just going to put a little dab of glue here. I think about right there. And then maybe right there. Sorry about that. I think I bumped the mic. I'm just getting used to using a mic. I will get better. I think I'm going to go with the small flower first. And then the larger flower in the center. And I kind of spin them a little. That helps seat them in the glue, as well as kind of throws the text off so your eye's not really trying to read it so much anymore. And then tuck this word right there, which gives us another texture, and it covers up all of the text that was the other direction. And of course you can round the corners as I did here, like that gives another look. You can ink the edges, which I think I'm going to go ahead and do on this one with just the leftover ink I have on the brush. There we go. See how quick and simple that is? So thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate your time.